Today we're going to take a look at product to sum identities, and you can see that we have 4 of them all together. And each of these identities can actually be derived from the sum and difference identities for sine and cosine. But we're going to take a look at using one of these identities in an example. So in our example, we're going to find the exact value of cosine of 7 pi over 12 times cosine of 5 pi over 12. So first we have to pick out the right identity to use. And since this is a product of 2 cosine functions, it looks like this second identity is going to help us. Right? So here alpha is equal to 7 pi over 12 and beta is equal to 5 pi over 12. And now let's go ahead and plug these into the right hand side of our identity. And what we'll get is 1/2 times cosine of 7 pi over 12 minus 5 pi over 12 plus cosine of 7 pi over 12 plus 5 pi over 12. And if we simplify, we'll have 1/2 times cosine of, when we subtract these angles, we'll end up with 2 pi over 12. And then plus cosine of, when we add our angles, we'll end up with 12 pi over 12. And let's keep reducing. We'll have 1/2 times cosine of 2 pi over 12 reduces to pi over 6. And then plus cosine of 12 pi over 12 reduces to pi. And now we can evaluate these. Notice pi over 6 and pi, those are nice angles we're used to working with. So let's see, cosine of pi over 6, that's equal to √3 over 2. Plus cosine of pi is -1. And now we just have to finish simplifying. So we'll have 1/2 times √3 over 2. I'm going to combine my terms inside the brackets here. So I'm going to turn this -1 into a -2 over 2. So we have our common denominator. So now what we have is 1/2. And in the brackets, we have √3 minus 2 divided by 2. And then finally, when we finish multiplying, we'll end up with √3 minus 2 all divided by 4. And this would be our exact value. There we go.